Enoch said that he supposedly seen this, right? And this is what the true form of what an angel is supposed to look like in true form. So basically Enoch said that he was seeing this shit, right? There's a video that's going around that said that they seen a UFO, but I think it was an angel just like this. Look at this video, y'all. Look at this shit. This is the clearest video that anybody has ever got of anything. And look what that drone looked like. Look, do y'all see the eye in the middle, bro? Do y'all see it? It's looking over and watching everything. Watching everybody. Look at that. Bro. Yo. Do y'all see that? What is going on in our world right now, bro? This is only the first.
Was worse than Satan. The book of Enoch explained a group of fallen angels known as the Watchers, and what they did will shock you. I'll explain the worst of these angels at the end of the video, so stay until the end. There are 200 of these angels that fell. This angel is worse than Satan. The book of Enoch explained a group of fallen angels known as the Watchers, and what they did will shock you. I'll explain the worst of these angels at the end of the video, so stay until the end. There are 200 of these angels that fell, and here are a few of their names: Samyaza, Azazel, Armaros, Arakil, and Barakil. Now let me explain why these angels are so bad. Azazel taught mankind how to make weapons for war. This act alone resulted in chaos, even still to this day. But it gets far worse. The leader of these angels, Samyaza, is far worse than Satan himself. Here's why. Not only was Samyaza the one responsible for leading every fallen angel to sin, he also led a series of experiments with the other fallen angels. They created a series of twisted, disfigured beings with human DNA and animal DNA. This whole story is spoken about in the Book of Giants. It says the 200 angels chose animals on which to perform unnatural acts, including presumably humans. Taught humans enchantments and root cuttings. So essentially, Samyaza taught humans about magic. The form of magic he taught humans was most likely dark magic, due to the fact everything these angels taught humans caused us to walk away from God and destroy one another. During this time, everything on the earth was hectic. Between the angels' hybrid offsprings, the fallen angels, and the fallen angels' teachings which affected humanity for the worse, the world became much more dark. Things such as witchcraft became popularized during this time and also after that. We can see this kind of magic prominent in places such as ancient Egypt. Priests were the main practitioners of magic in pharaonic Egypt, where they were seen as guardians of a secret knowledge given by the gods to humanity to ward off the blows of fate. We can clearly see these so-called gods are just fallen angels being worshipped as the false gods that we were warned about in Exodus 20 verses 3 to 5. In ancient Egypt, the most respected users of magic were the lector priests, who could read the ancient books of magic kept in temple and palace libraries. In popular stories, such men were credited with the power to bring wax animals to life, or roll back the waters of a lake, who could read the ancient books of magic kept in temple and palace libraries.
He said ancient books of magic. What type of alchemy, homunculus making books were these? What were they doing?
In popular stories, such men were credited with the power to bring wax animals to life, or roll back the waters of a lake. Samyaza taught humans enchantments and root cuttings. So
sorry, but in my 29 years of living, I ain't never seen some shit like that. Never seen some shit like this.
Oh my God. At first I thought it was a joke, like if someone just tried to CGI some type of starship in there. But no, that looks legit. You know, look how he got his phone hanging out. He was like, man, I gotta show somebody this. Look at this, y'all. I think it's some type of cloaking device or something. You know, they just got the temperature set off wrong. You know, the hue set too high. If you ask me, some type of cloaking device. Your guys' thoughts below on this. What is that? People said blue beam. They seeing this in Michigan. What?
Do you ever sit and think about the ancient Egyptian gods and why they are all mixed with these animal-like form creatures and thought to yourself, what the hell is up with that? But you never really cared enough to investigate? I'm going to tell you exactly what that is, and your mind's going to be blown. Before you say, oh, another geographical history lesson. No, baby, we are not doing that. My name is Aja. I study the occult, the apocrypha, the book of Enoch, and all things spooky, religion, and just plain old mysteries. So I'm gonna let you know right now that this video is not like any other. If you follow me, you know we have been over the book of Enoch, which is a hidden book of the Bible that was taken out of the canonized Bible by the Vatican because the story did not align with modern day religion, as well as had some creatures that would not align with Catholicism back then. The book of Enoch was said to come before the book of Genesis, and it tells why God sent that massive flood that Noah was told about by Enoch, which was his great-grandfather. But if you didn't read the Apocrypha and you are new here, you wouldn't know that. So that hidden book of the Bible, the book of Enoch, is about the angels who were supposed to watch over mankind that God created to be special, and instead they abandoned their post. They fell to angels because they were fallen angels and began to procreate with humans, creating things that they were not supposed to create, and they were said to have taken 200 of each species of animal that they found. Almost like Noah taking 2 of every animal onto the ark. So when they took these 200 of each animal, they actually mated with them. And when they mated with them, they created offspring like sirens, Pegasus. That's why you have those big men bodies on horses. Please forgive me, I can't think of the name right now. Also experimented.
Centaur.
Creating 2 animals that they would put together. Again, this is in the Apocrypha, one of the books that were taken out of the Bible, and this made God very unpleased with the fallen angels, so he sent a massive flood. The great deluge was supposed to cleanse the earth of every impure thing that these fallen angels have created, and then, boom, let's skip ahead to ancient Egypt. Ancient Egyptian culture is very similar to ancient Sumerian culture, but what I'm about to tell you is going to blow your lid, so please stay with me. Look at some ancient Egyptian art, which what they were known for. They have beautiful artwork. They had amazing preservation of their history. So when you think about that statue, the Sphinx that's missing their nose, you got to think a little deeper, but I digress. Let's keep going. So if you look here, you have Osiris, Horus, and Anubis, one of the 3 main gods of ancient Egypt. And if you look here, one has the head of a bird and a man body. The other one has a dog and a man body. And there are many more that I can show you, but little do people understand that this is clear proof that we had a run-in with fallen angels. Here is an actual list of most of the ancient Egyptian gods that resembled half man, half animal. And when I tell you that each one of these is terrifying, even the first one is Hathor, which he had a cow head and a human body, and it goes deeper than that. But let me explain to you why this is significant in my story. So these watchers, they came to earth and they took women as wives. They taught them magical medicines, incantations, the cutting of roots and about plants. And this was like the origin of folk magic. And then they also started taking animals and mating them and crossbreeding them, thus creating these gods that these ancient Egyptians thought they saw. And when they talk about the birth of Anubis and Horus, they have these very detailed accounts of how these gods were born and what they were able to do. Story of Anubis, the gods of ancient Egypt, the one specific god Anubis, was that he was born from someone named Seth. And if you are unfamiliar with the Sethites and the Canaanites, they are also in the book of Enoch. Seth and Cain were the sons of Adam and Eve. They were twin brothers. Yes, and the Canaanites were said to be the sons of man, who the Sethites, which were the fallen angels' children, they mated, and these procreated into Nephilim, which were giants and every other thing. So if you think that ancient Egypt, these gods are not made from fallen angels, you need to wake up. I am going to do a part 2 because each god is different, and it also aligns with the ancient Sumerian text of the Anunnaki. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time. If you enjoyed my content, please go follow me on my channel at MyAjaBay. That's at MAAJA Bay, where a new video will be dropping tonight at 7 o'clock. Thank you. Do you ever sit and think about the
Moses is the only person in the Bible whom God personally buried, but no one knows where his burial place is to this day. The Bible says the Lord then hid the tomb, but why? Why would God Almighty hid the body of Moses? Because Satan was interested in Moses' body. He was interested because, as he does with everything else, he wanted to use it to move the people of God into idolatry. If the location of the body and grave of Moses was known to the Israelites, they would have turned it into a shrine. Today, people would still be finding their way to that grave. They would have erected monuments at the site and turned it into a commercial shrine. It would have been a site of sinful adulation. It would have all been about the powers of Moses and not about God. That is the true definition of idol worshiping. This is the reason the Lord hid the tomb. The concealment of the tomb was so important that it sparked an angelic battle in the higher realm. In Jude chapter 9, we learn how the archangel Michael challenged the devil for the body of Moses. People have a propensity to worship the created things rather than our Creator. Moses is the only person in the Bible whom God personally.
We have some people on earth that have been trapped here inside of our realm. And no matter what they do, they cannot ascend to the next state of consciousness. These people are called the Watchers. They would sit over humanity and watch their every move. They would also be called jinns or genies. Now they know that they are trapped here in this world, and their whole mission is to bring down as many as they can with them. As you begin to succeed in life, you will notice that you will always have struggles. And majority of the time, it's usually these people that is watching you. They are watching your every move, and they are waiting to bring you down with them. As I make these lectures and help people grow, it's always somebody in the comments spreading negativity. This is a perfect example. They hate to see other people grow because their growth is limited. And they will roam the earth, manipulating the minds of the gods and the goddesses. This was all wrote down in the book of Enoch. These are all soulless vessels that have been trapped here. And during this new age, we will get rid of them. They will not be able to do their illusions and perform their trickery on us anymore. These are the people that will come around and act like they are for you. But whole time, they are trying to bring you down. You guys must be aware of the Watchers. No matter where you go, what you do, somebody is watching you. Always. This spiritual war is way deeper than y'all think. We've been fighting against these energies and entities for thousands of years. This ain't just starting now. Everybody that look like us, not with us. Protect yourself and stay safe. Peace and Ashe. We have some...
Which is not part of the Bible canon. According to the story, the Watchers were angels who were sent to earth to watch over humans. However, they became attracted to human women and had children with them. These children were called the Nephilim and were said to be giants. The Watchers also taught humans forbidden knowledge such as magic and astrology. This angered God, who sent a flood to destroy the world and punish the Watchers. The story of the Watchers teaches us about the dangers of temptation and disobedience. It reminds us that even those who are close to God can fall from grace if they give in to their desires. It also teaches us about the importance of obedience and humility. Thank you for watching. Follow me for more story. The story of the Watchers is told in the
Explained a group of mysterious creatures that fallen angels created. Today, that's what we'll be covering in the Book of Enoch. You see, the Nephilim giants are not the only hybrid beings that were created. There were also mysterious crossbreeds between animals and humans. Let me explain. The Book of Enoch mentions how the 200 Watchers experimented on humans and animals to create monstrous hybrid beings. The book reads, "The 200 angels choose animals on which to perform unnatural acts, including presumably humans. 200 donkeys, 200 rams, 200 goats, 200 beasts. From every animal, from every bird for miscegenation. The outcome of the demonic corruption was violence, perversion, and a brood of monstrous beings. They defiled, they begot giants and monsters." Now, as we can see, the Book of Enoch referred to giants and monsters, meaning there were several different hybrids created during this time. But I really want to point out what it means when these angels gathered these animals for miscegenation. This means there was some sort of reproductive process conducted by the fallen angels, and they used animal and human DNA to accomplish their experiments. The Book of Enoch explained a group of mysterious creatures.
People would say, oh, you can't watch the Smurfs because it's bad because they have witchcraft and stuff in there.
I had no idea how messed up the Smurfs are.
The idea that you can create a human life form without a mother or a father. So.
Really? That's what the Smurfs are based on?
In the Smurf stories, Gargamel, the evil wizard, created the Smurfs. They say they made them from clay, but that's really the homunculus. And when you dive into the actual history of homunculus, it is dark. They actually believed that tiny men lived in semen. There are some cultures that did some crazy experiments, and Cat Williams thinks they're still doing it today, just a little differently.
Somebody's history, I don't want to say what race of people or group of people it is, but in somebody's history, you know, there was this homunculus.
Like a genetically engineered human?
Life form.
Life form.
Mm-hmm.
Creature.
Right.
Whoa.
And so, you know, it's spoken of in history very sparingly. You know, a lot of things in the world are about perception, you know? Yeah. So we don't believe that there's clones. We don't believe that because we don't feel like we have the technology. Religious people would say, oh, you can't watch the Smurfs because, like, even the Smurfs story.
The Smurfs are based on something?
Religious people would say, oh, you can't watch the Smurfs because it's bad because they have witchcraft and stuff in there. But the whole thing is, it's based on this, the homunculus, the idea that you can create a human life form without a mother or a father. So
really? That's what the Smurfs are based on?
What two Smurfs do you think got together and had Smurfette? She was the only female of the Smurfs, so.
It's a good question.
Well, it's not a question in the Smurfs. They tell you that Gargamel made Smurfette.
Why should I know what died? There's no reason for it for
Like even the Smurfs.
You heard of the conspiracy theory about Rainbow the Clown from the Powerpuff Girls? The episode is called Mind for a Change, and when Rainbow the Clown is at a party, he gets into an accident that leaves him covered in bleach, basically turning him into Mr. Mime. His new alter ego touches everyone and everything, robbing Townsville of color, leaving everyone to show their former selves. Like literally everyone stays at a standstill and loses their voice. And the theory is that this episode is actually about SA, which is why people lose their happiness and their voice when they're touched by Mr. Mime, which explains why the girls still beat the living crap out of him even after he apologized.
My sleep paralysis, my dreams, my daydreams, whatever, this whole time I'm seeing angels.
I'm scared right now, you shut up!
Okay, I have to do a trigger warning on this part 45. We are going to talk about one of the things that when the fallen has taught people. There's a lot of political debate behind this. That's not what we're going to do here. I'm just going to explain to you. So the last fallen was apparently the one that was a serpent in the Garden of Eden. So now let's go to the fourth one. This one's name is Penimui. Now he taught the children of men the bitter and the sweet. Sounds good, right? Let's keep going. He taught them all the secrets of their wisdom, and he instructed mankind in writing with ink and paper, and thereby many sinned from eternity to eternity until this day. So pen and paper also was not for us? So it wasn't just makeup, huh? Let's continue. For men were not created for such a purpose, to give confirmation to their good faith with pen and ink. For men were created exactly like the angels, to the intent that they should continue pure and righteous, and death, which destroys everything, could not have taken hold of them. But through this their knowledge they are perishing, and through this power it is consuming men. So shout out to all the people who were like, Enoch didn't write that book. We weren't supposed to write anything, right? Pen and paper wasn't supposed to be here. Why? People weren't supposed to die. So if you live for eternity, what do you need to write down? Just tell them. Tell them your history. Talk to them yourself. If you live for forever, you never have to write anything down, right? Or is that just, okay, let's keep moving. It said there, we just read it, that people, men, were created just like the angels. What does that mean? You're never supposed to die. But through learning all these things, that is what causes us to now perish. We're never supposed to have this knowledge. Okay, let's move on to the next angel. The fifth was named Kazdeja. This is who showed the children of men the wicked smitings of spirits and demons, and the smiting of the embryo in the womb, that it may pass away, and the bites of the serpent, and the smitings which befall through the noontide heat, the son of the serpent named Tabaet. So that's a wild verse. So he's the one responsible for teaching humans about spirits and demons, also spell work, and he's the one that is accredited with teaching humans how to have abortions. That was the part that said the smiting of the embryo in the womb. Now, here, there's no space for us to judge. That's something you take up with your creator. Let's go on to the last fallen and see what he was trying to get from Michael in the next part. See you there.
These are the most mysterious angels in the Book of Enoch. Now, no matter if you're a Christian who isn't so sure about the Book of Enoch, the Book of Enoch literally explains the fallen angels that are in the Book of Genesis. These are the angels I'll be talking about in this video. In this video, I'll explain the full history of the Watchers, so stay tuned while we go on this ride through the Book of Enoch. Here's a basic rundown of who the Watchers are. The Watchers are a group of angels in the Book of Enoch, and they reside in the fifth heaven. And if you are confused as to why I said fifth heaven, it is because the Book of Enoch describes 10 different levels of heaven. If you'd like a separate video on the 10 levels of heaven, comment 10. Now let's get back to the Watchers. There were a total of 200 Watchers tasked to watch over humanity. The Watchers' name mean the sons of heaven, and their name can also be translated to the sons of God. These beings are described in great detail in the Book of Genesis, which we'll touch a bit. But I want to mention a very interesting comment I seen on one of my other videos. Someone asked if the Watchers could be the monitoring spirits known in Christianity. This is a very good question, since the Watchers are a class of angels that watched over humanity, and monitoring spirits are known as spirits tasked to watch and document humanity as well. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Now let's look in Genesis, where the story of these fallen angels is described in more detail. Genesis 6 verse 2 mentions how the sons of God took human wives. These angels and human women had children, and their children were known as the Nephilim. These offsprings of the Watchers and human women were giants. Check out my video I made about these fallen angels' offsprings here. Now we have to go back, so you understand just how terrible this union was. It is forbidden for angelic hosts to co-create with human beings. So here's what the leader of the Watchers said to the other angels.
I fear ye will not indeed agree to do this deed, and I alone shall have to pay the penalty of a great sin. And they all answered him and said, Let us all swear an oath, and all bind ourselves by mutual imprecations not to abandon this plan, but to do this thing. Then swear they all together, and bound themselves by mutual imprecations upon it. 1 Enoch verses 3-5.
I want to briefly explain the leader in more detail than I ever have previously. His name is Samyaza, and many believe this angel is actually Lucifer written in a different story because of how similar their story is. Let me explain. Firstly, Samyaza and Lucifer are both known as the angels who caused the angels to sin against God. Secondly, both of these angels are said to be the most powerful amongst their peers. Ironically, Lucifer's original angelic name is Samael, which is very similar to Samyaza, which is something I wanted to point out. Now let's dive into what the Bible has to say about this. Let's go back to Genesis, where it says, "The sons of God took wives upon themselves." Notice how in that verse it doesn't mention Lucifer. So these are a completely different class of angels that the book of Genesis is referring to. This verse is most likely referring to the Watchers in particular. This is more likely the case because remember what the Watchers' name means. Their name literally translates to the sons of God or the sons of heaven. So I personally believe that verse explains how the Watchers found human women attractive and then took wives for themselves. Since the Bible never mentions Satan himself mating with humans. Satan only deceived humans. Also, there are several races of angels, even in the book of Enoch. The Watchers are actually not as powerful as the other races, but they hold a bunch of significance in the book. Let me explain. And I'll also explain how these angels created demons. First, we must cover the unnatural acts Watchers exploited humans to. Not only did the Watchers make the Nephilim, the Watchers also taught humanity a series of heavenly secrets, forbidden knowledge, and false religions. This is why certain beliefs are known as the doctrine of demons. Beliefs such as astrology, witchcraft, and other forms of magic the Bible forbids were taught by fallen angels. The Watchers also created demons. This is because God cursed the Nephilim and sent the great flood to destroy them. Thus, the spirits of the deceased Nephilim became what we now know as demons. The women who mated with the Watchers were also cursed, doomed to become sirens. I've mentioned the Watchers and all they did collectively, but now it's time for me to describe the particular Watchers and their involvement in the downfall of humanity, and even the downfall of the sons of God. As I've mentioned, Samyaza is the leader of these angels. Samyaza, single-handedly, is the reason why the Watchers turned against God in the first place, similar to Lucifer. Samyaza simply wanted to do whatever he pleased. Azazel is arguably the worst out of the Watchers right after Samyaza, because he taught men to make swords, and knives, and shields, and breastplates, and made known to them the metals of the earth and the art of working them, and bracelets, and ornaments, and the use of antimony, and the beautifying of the eyelids, and all kinds of costly stones, and all coloring tinctures. These are usually revered as the two leaders of the Watchers. However, there are a total of 200 of these angels. The leader of the 200 Watchers taught enchantments and root cuttings, while Armoros taught them how to resolve enchantments. Barakijal taught astrology, while Kokabel shared information on the constellations. Ezekiel shared the knowledge of the clouds. Arakiel instructed on the signs of the earth, Shamsiel on the signs of the sun, and Sariel on the course of the moon. There, however, was a price for these angels for leading humanity astray. The Watchers' first punishment was their offspring being destroyed. This is where the great flood comes in. God sent archangels to deal with the Watchers. The archangels are a military class of angels, it seems like, because they're usually tasked with dealing with spiritual threats. A quick disclaimer before we continue. I am in no way attempting to influence you to glorify angels instead of God, because all the glory belongs to God and Him only. Now let's continue. God instructed a selection of archangels to bind the Watchers and cast them in an allocated part of the underworld that is called Tartarus. The fallen Watchers were to remain there until their final judgment. God seen what the Watchers did as such a big deal because the Watchers' teachings led to lawlessness in human beings. and caused them to separate from God and become lawless. Humans started practicing occultism and used magic, potions, and spells on one another to influence and manipulate.
Get the Book of Enoch to learn more.
Angels created demons. Warn Enoch 19 verse 2 says, "The women also of the angels who went astray shall become sirens." Sirens can be translated to two different creatures. First, we have the Greek siren, which is a half-bird, half-human creature. And then, siren can also be translated to mermaids. However, over time, the word siren has been a title to describe a particular type of mermaid that sings a hypnotic song that lures men off their ships to their watery demise. There is even a show called Siren that is about mermaids. Originally, mermaids were human women, and this is why in several films they turn into human women. It is because that is their original form, although they can't turn back into humans since they are cursed. And they're not anywhere near as beautiful as they're portrayed according to first-hand accounts with these creatures. The Book of Enoch mentions
Suck up, the Nephilim still exists. That this was one of the craziest videos of 2022 so far, bro. And they was grinding me up saying I look just like Bull, but I don't. Let's go! I'm telling y'all, the Nephilim roamed the earth, bro. They stuffed him. He's stuffed. They probably still live in remote places on earth. Wake up! One more time. Wake up!
Wake the fuck up, the Nephilim still exists.
I ain't even got to say nothing, but y'all see it. Pause and read, whatever you got to do. 2023 is going to be real. Hope you got your seatbelts fastened. Buckle up. Stay prayed up. Repent. Forgive. Show love. And don't judge. Let's get it. I ain't even.
That the Bible says in Matthew chapter 24 that just like it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be when Jesus Christ returns to the earth. And in the days of Noah, they had Nephilim, they had giants, these beings, they were a hybrid being that were anywhere from 8 feet tall to 15 feet tall. And there's all this talk of them showing up somehow in Miami. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but what I will tell you is this. The Bible tells us that the Nephilim are real, that demons are real. The government, the media will try to tell you, oh, it's just an alien and they're from outer space, they're from Mars and they have a UFO. That's not the truth, y'all. The truth is there is a spiritual battle taking place. There is a spiritual war between good and evil. There's a spiritual veil that is here on this earth. And the more that you feed your flesh, the less you're going to be able to see into the spiritual realm. If you don't have the Holy Spirit, you're not going to be able to properly discern the season, the times, the truth, the lies, and everything else that's happening in our world. All I know is y'all better be ready. Y'all better buckle up your seatbelts for what 2024 has in store. We're only 4 days in and all this craziness is already breaking out. The only firm foundation that you could truly have is in Christ. Every other God, every other idol, every other thing you put your faith and your trust in will be shaken, will be tested, and it's not going to pass. The only firm foundation you can have is Jesus Christ.
Let's go.
You can see its very large hands. See its eyes.
Is this the Kandahar?
It clearly is a male. You can see right there. This is the front of the Sasquatch, and then you can see it's the back side. You can see it has testicles right there. Its hands are gigantic. You know, compared to a human's hand.
Many fingers.
Like my hand's not even close.
Is that snow on him? I don't know about this one. What y'all think, man?
Some people in Northern Europe were surprised when they found a very strange rock. I don't know what kind of stone it is, but its color is very similar to flesh and blood. Legend has it that it is the flesh of petrified giants. Because it was not suitable to exist in the New Age, God destroyed them, and they turned to stone. These rocks look nothing more than chunks of meat. Not only that, people also discovered rocks with strange shapes, such as human faces and bodies. The mountains look like human muscles. Do you believe there are giants turned to stone in the world? There have long been signs that alien civilizations may have visited Earth in the distant past. There is one.
Look, the thing looks just like Predator. Look at this.
One potential piece of evidence, known as the Rhodope skull, that has been catalogued by some researchers as the final evidence of extraterrestrials on Earth. There are many reasons why scientists refuse to acknowledge the existence of extraterrestrial beings on Earth, but the most cited reason is the absence of physical bodies or remains. However, this reasoning often creates a deadlock situation because almost all the evidence is rejected, or even if it isn't, it will disappear before the public is interested. Such is the case with the alien Rhodope skull, a fascinating relic that has never been seen before. This skull was found in the Rhodope Mountains in Bulgaria by a man from Whas, a city located 150 kilometers southeast of Sofia. The unnamed man discovered the skull buried next to a small elliptical metal object. His interesting story begins after having a dream in which 5 humanoid creatures in metallic yellow suits direct him to a location in the Rhodope Mountains, near the border between Bulgaria and Greece. On May 21, 2001, he arrived at the place indicated by strangers and the skull was certainly there. His discovery has generated much controversy and many molecular scientists consider it evidence of the existence of extraterrestrials, as well as their presence on our planet. Initially, he presented his discovery to a small group of people interested in the paranormal, but the skull didn't stay a secret for long. The skull was examined by archaeologist Katia Malamet from the Bulgarian Academy of Sciences and Professor Dmitry Kovachev, director of the Asenovgrad Museum of Paleontology. Both said they had never seen anything like it before. This skull is as big as an infant's skull, but its skeletal structure is lighter and thinner, weighing only 250 grams. It has 6 chambers that researchers believe belong to alien sensory organs. While alive, this creature may possess 6 eyes or may have completely different organs that are not yet known. Interestingly, this skull does not have a mouth hole. Professor Kovachev is certain that it is not a fossil, and does not resemble any human skull known to science. We couldn't find any similarity or correlation with anything over the past 30 million years, Kovachev said. Skeptics believe that the skull is an unidentified animal, although its features are unlike that of any other animal. There are several interesting theories about the Rhodope skull. The famous Bulgarian psychic Kubrat Tomov believes it belongs to a genetically modified organism, created by the Atlanteans. According to him, the skull represents the remains of a failed experiment that took place thousands of years ago in that area. Another theory is that this is most likely the remains of a hastily buried alien killed by soldiers active in the area during World War II. Many people have paid a large amount of money to buy back this skull, but its owner does not sell it because the secrets it brings can far exceed what money can buy. Unfortunately, for some reason the skull disappeared before scientists had a chance to perform DNA analysis and dating. Perhaps it was seized by the government and hidden from public interest. Whoever the present-day owner of this skull is, they clearly don't want to share this secret with the rest of humanity, even though it could be clear evidence of the existence of aliens.
Water, that shit is crazy. Oh my gosh! Bro, look at that. It's a whole head passing out the water. That shit is crazy. Oh my gosh!
sword is probably worth a couple million. Pure gold at that. One of the gemstones is knocked off, but it's still nice. I would love it. I would love to have it. That's the dude. This is who owned it. Probably used more for ceremonials than anything. What they digging up now? This is how they be finding them swords, man. They be digging up stuff. Oh, that's liquid coming out of the sarcophagus? Oh, y'all better get up out of there. What is going on? Is that a nostril? That is weird. What they be working on?
Carving these behemoth giants. Look at the way these
That's my boy.
Could these be giants frozen in time in Antarctica? Because there's no way I can see any man carving these behemoth giants. Look at the way these divers are dwarfed side by side by these behemoths. Now, could these behemoth giants be real under the icy waters of Antarctica?
Yes, it could be real.
And look at the way the eyes look like they were plucked out of his sockets. Why would anyone do that to a statue?
This is nuts. In Antarctica, they doing this?
Could these be giants frozen in time in Antarctica?
And go all the way to the sea.
We need a part 2 of this. We got to see where this leads. Oh yeah, this is good information right here. This might be the real deal on this video, y'all. Timestamp this. This is the real deal right here.
Maybe if we go submerge, we can avoid the Antarctic Treaty. And we might as well find the bottom of the firmament.
Bro on it. He got straight to the issue. Hold on. That may be a portal. Y'all see these? These gazebo looking things? Man, these gazebos got more truth to it than y'all think. Them boys might be portals. Just hold on. Them boys might be portals. Them right there. Remember them. Gateways. Stargates. What y'all know about stargates, man? Look at this castle. There's no way. What was that? What are these creatures? Hold on, they showed us some straight creatures, y'all. That's the castle. What is this? What type of witchcraft y'all working on? What about this? What type of tree monster is this? Root system monster? Root system demon is this? This was a storage. This is probably a energy generating building, and this was where all the ions got magnified within it, and it contained the ether. Man, they don't build them like they used to. Man, that's wonderful. I love seeing stuff like that. That's beautiful. I love this too. I love that. All these scenes are great. The mystery.
States invaded Iraq wasn't because of weapons of mass destruction, but actually to get the DNA of Nephilim and giants. Now that may sound far-fetched to you, but listen to this email sent to government officials on the Freedom of Information Act website, requesting documents pertaining to the resurrection chamber of Gilgamesh, the location of his body, and the location of the buried Nephilim. That was sent on December 13th, 2018, and the status of that email is closed. We also have testimonies from museum curators saying that the very first place that the United States military went when they invaded Iraq was to museums within the heart of ancient Babylon. This may be one reason why the CIA is investing so much money recently into DNA editing firms, so that when they get remains or artifacts with Nephilim DNA, they can actually extract them and resurrect them back to life like they're trying to do now with extinct animals.
Yo.
What if the reason the
basically a city underground. Now there are 131 active deep underground military bases in the United States. There's 1,477 of them worldwide. What you call high tech. We have nothing like this on the surface.
Wow, what are they working on?
Are gobbling up our gross national product.
This is deeper than my bunker on GTA. And I spent millions on that bunker on GTA, man.
On building underground bases. Each one has an
Tell me this don't look like the same exact bunker, underground bunker that they had on GTA. Look me in my eyes and say it.
And the black budget is dead wrong. It sidesteps the United States Congress and its constitution of its people and says you're a bunch of morons you don't need to know.
We gotta go underground. Everybody else going underground, I'm going underground too. I'm digging right after this video. You gotta keep your head on a swivel, boy. I'm telling you, they out here. You gotta keep your head on a swivel out here.
It would take a year to 2 years to build each one, and now they're capable of building a couple of them a year.
And it's still going. They didn't replay this or rewind it. It's still going, y'all. Y'all ain't supposed to see this.
Area 51, S4, S2, a CIA base. The high-speed railways, the magneto-leviton trains, they connect.
They don't want y'all to know this.
Military bases within the United States. It employs over 18,000 workers who work in shifts of 12 hours at a whack. Most of them work in the cover of darkness.
I think I know where the entrance to this is. It goes through a mountain.
Capacity capable was basically.
Yep. Did you see that? You see how a mountain was coming out of there? That's where it was. I need to stop talking, man. Watch how it comes a mountain. I know where this is at.
Capacity capable was basically a city underground, roughly 4.25 cubic miles hollowed out underground. They have boring machines, for instance. They don't bore, they literally vitrify and melt the rock.
The bodies of the Nephilims turned into mountains. It is known that when fallen angels mate with humans, they end up producing offspring that in the Bible are referred to as the Nephilims. These creatures are a powerful group of people that are said to bear insane strength and are huge in size. However, somewhere in the history of humanity, they all just vanished. Now, this might sound crazy, but there is a theory that it was during the flood of Noah where the majority of the Nephilims were petrified, and their bodies eventually became the mountains that we see today. Over the course of history, there are references to this, like in the 1948 speech given by Abraham Lincoln, talking about a species of extinct giants whose bones fill the mountains of America, or that hikers who hiked up mountains and caves say it resembles a giant human shape. So, is this proof that the bodies of the Nephilims turned into mountains? It is known that when fallen angels mate with humans,
Oh, that could be Photoshop. Like he got the same exact large pants and the same shoes. We gonna find someone to make them shoes. Come on now. It does look like a sleeping lady. Like that's her hair. You can see her hair, her arm. You know, that's her leg. Wow, and her foot. How good is this, y'all? Just laying down on top of the mountain on some Attack on Titan type stuff. Man. That is interesting.
Real, why all the news articles from around the country and even the world? Now, I was looking for some of the earliest news articles found on giant skeletons. Now, this one is not the earliest news article of a giant footprint found, but it does have somewhat of a picture of the news article. Now, this news article is dated August 23rd, 1896. Now, I researched the article just to make sure that the date was right, and it is correct. Now, one of the earliest news articles I found was from the Cleveland Herald, and it's dated September 10th, 1845. And these people in Tennessee were finding giants left and right. And I'm not just talking the month of September of 1845. They were finding giant bones in October, November, December. There's news articles of all this. Now, of course, a lot of these news articles are distorted because they're so old, or even a lot of them are even destroyed. But as you can see, this is just a small sample of all the different news articles that giants were found and uncovered. But what happened to them? Now, I know there's lots of talk that museums took these bones and hid them. Now, my question is, what part of history that these museums don't want us to know? That's why they hid these bones. So if giants weren't real,
you guys have been seeing these giant puppets all over TikTok, people saying that they're indeed real and that it's magic. Well, let's jump into this story, into the Royal Deluxe Enigma. So many of you guys have seen the spectacle of the giant puppets, which is a performance in a colossal marionettes, and they've been in many different cities worldwide, leaving crowds in shock and awe. So the question is, could there be more to this tale than meets the eye? Now, conspiracy theorists are speculating that these giant puppets, look at the expression, that these giant puppets, their appearances are so realistic, people think that it's some form of witchcraft or magic, or that these indeed are alive. What do you think? Now, I'm not saying that it's true, but we can explore the connections. So could the giant puppets be more than just an enchanting performance? Are they part of a grander occult scheme? Let's just take a look and watch some of this footage and see what you think. Here the puppet is being lowered down. After the parade, they're actually lowering it down into the water. And this is the video that I kept seeing on TikTok. It's of the facial expressions when the puppet goes into the water. So let's check it out. Let's take a look. It is very realistic.
We can't see his face. You got that writing on it.
So what do you guys think about the giant puppets?
That's crazy. That is pretty good, how she breathing like that. Oh. Oh no, yeah. It is pretty crazy. What are they doing? What are these puppets working on? Did it just give it a hug? Now they floating in the air?
according to the Bible, and this is just one of many skeletons that have been found. This one here, it's about 15, 16 foot height, maybe taller than that. Check it out, man. Just more reasons why the Bible's legit. These are the men of old, the men of renown according to the Bible, and this is just one of many skeletons that have been found. This one here, it's about 15, 16 foot height, maybe taller than that. Check it out, man. Just more
Dang,
reasons
this
why the
looks
Bible's
real,
legit.
y'all. This
These
one
are
looks
the men of
legit.
old, the men of renown according to the Bible, and this is just one of many skeletons
Straight
that
out
have
of
been found.
Elden
This
Ring.
one here, it's about 15, 16 foot height, maybe taller than that. Check it out, man.
My theory on petrified giants. Whatever happened to them most probably happened fast and simultaneously. Now, do I believe that they are 100% petrified? And the answer is yes and no. If giants are real, like the Bible, Dead Sea Scrolls, and other literature defines, they were not born of the same flesh like me and you, so I think they were only stopped but not destroyed. And these pink salt mines and these flesh-looking stones are part of their bodies harvested from the earth. And for us to deny the similarities that this was once some living tissue, when pictures and video show layer by layer the truth. My theory on petrified giants.
But now that I know, this totally look like big toes sticking out of the grass. Big toes? Yeah. Honey, you're walking on the giant's big toes. You better make sure he doesn't start wiggling. But now that I know, this totally look like big toes sticking out of the grass. Big toes? Yeah. Honey, you're walking on the giant's big toes. You better make sure he doesn't start wiggling.
Look what this guy had to say about the government hiding Nephilim giants in their military bases.
Greg Renrich, that was one of the things that he told me. He's the one that was talking about seeing the giants in the deep underground military bases. He said that one of the first things that they had to do before he was allowed to go into S4 or S20 or any of the others, they made him sign an affidavit saying, you're not allowed to use the name Jesus Christ in these underground facilities, not even if you stub your toe or anything. And he said that he saw 10 to 25 foot tall giants in these underground bases and said that they were, human scientists and other people working side by side with them. He said that they even came right out and said they were the Nephilim. They came right out and said it. Said that, basically we're preparing for an intergalactic war with God, and they believe that they're going to win.
Where are they getting this they're going to win from?
And why are you not allowed to say the name Jesus in these underground facilities?
Jesus said, just like in the days of Noah, so will it be in the coming of the Son of Man. During the days of Noah, the fallen angels and their offspring, the Nephilim, were influencing, corrupting the human race to live in sin. And we know in the book of Genesis, God says that the wickedness was so bad, he had to flood the entire earth. And we know God had to do this in order for the Messiah to come through Noah's bloodline to redeem us. The enemy doesn't want people to know there's power in the name of Jesus. Use your authority to stomp out that dirty lying devil in Jesus' name.
The full picture as to fallen angels were kicked out of heaven, and what they taught mankind may shock you. This revelation also helps us to see the full picture as to why God flooded the earth in the days of Noah. It wasn't to be mean and vengeful, but to wipe out the fallen angel Nephilim and their offspring, the giants, who corrupted mankind and taught them forbidden knowledge we still use today. Before the great flood of Noah that flooded the entire earth, Genesis 6:4 tells us that there were giants in the earth in those days, and after that, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men, and they bare children to them. The same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown. These are the fallen angels who rebelled against God and were kicked out of heaven, leaving their first estate as mentioned in the book of Jude. When we look to the book of Enoch, an extra biblical text not found in the standard Bible, we can learn the destruction and devastation the giants were creating on the earth at that time. In chapters 7 and 8 of Enoch, the fallen angels who fell and came to earth took women as wives, just like mentioned in Genesis 6:4. They teach humans magic medicines, incantations, the cutting of roots, and about plants. The origin of folk medicine is therefore ascribed to these angelic beings. The children of the angels are giants standing 300 cubits, that'd be 450 feet tall. These giants eat so much food that humans cannot feed them anymore. The giants proceed to eat humans as well as all other kinds of animals. In addition to teaching humans to interpret a wide range of signs, they teach humans medicinal magic. The angel Azazel teaches humans metalworking, including making of ornaments and weapon making. Azazel also teaches humans how to make eyeshadow and other physical ornamentation. Other angels teach humans how to track the stars, astrology and divination, and the signs of the moon. Enoch chapter 69 verse 18 tells us of the angel Gadriel, who taught people how to perform abortions and how to strike people so they die. The stroke of the embryo in the womb to diminish it, the stroke of the spirit by the bite of the serpent, and the stroke which is given in the midday, the offspring of the serpent, the name of which is Tebet. These angels are responsible for teaching humans all sorts of sinful practices. Humanity fell through Adam and Eve's sin in the Garden of Eden, but once fallen angels came to the earth and taught humans even more evil, their sins completely overtook them. Genesis 6:4 tells us this fact. Then the Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every intent of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. The reason for God flooding the earth was to cleanse the earth of the fallen angels, their offspring the giants, and the evil forbidden knowledge that they taught mankind that had overtaken the earth. Fallen angels.
Alien, let's go.
Clearest photograph of the creature that was allegedly seen in Miami. Oddly enough, the man said the strange thing about this encounter was how in one of the photographs the creature appears to be transparent, and this matches what other residents have said. One resident said that this creature that was seen suddenly became transparent and appeared see-through, while another said that they tried to follow it, but it suddenly vanished. This man just released the clearest photograph of the creature that was allegedly seen in Miami. Oddly enough, the man said the strange thing about this encounter was how in one of the photographs the creature appears to be transparent, and this matches what other residents have said. One resident said that this creature that was seen suddenly became transparent and appeared see-through, while another said that they tried to follow it, but it suddenly vanished. He was running away from the area at the time of the encounter, which is why the photographs are blurry. Interestingly, many have said that this isn't the first time that strange entities and sightings have been reported from this area, while others are not sure what to make of it. On social media, police officers have come forward and said that nothing was sighted, but other officers have said that they've been told that they can't talk about what happened. According to locals, they are currently facing encounters with mysterious entities standing at an imposing height of 8 feet, bearing a striking resemblance to large grey or insectoid entities. Recently, a man stepped forward and claimed to have had a video call with his father, who currently serves as a police officer in Miami. During the conversation, the son probed his father about the events that unfolded in Florida. However, the father disclosed that, at present, he is unable to divulge any specific details regarding the incident. Moreover, he mentioned that higher-ranking individuals have instructed him not to disclose anything. This testimony sheds light on the delicate nature of the situation and the strict confidentiality measures in place. It implies that there may be more to the story that is being deliberately kept under wraps for now. In a rather peculiar turn of events, yet another member of the police force has resorted to social media to share an intriguing revelation. This particular officer disclosed that the enigmatic creature in question was actually captured on camera from a different angle. Like his fellow colleagues, he reiterated the constraint of non-disclosure imposed upon him, making it clear that divulging any details regarding the incident was strictly forbidden. This comprehensive account not only adds to the previous statements of law enforcement officers, but also underscores the severity of the instructions they have received. It's been estimated that over 100 police cars were seen during this encounter, while other residents reported seeing black helicopters swarm the area. Oddly enough, this happened just moments after strange glowing orbs were seen throughout the area. The officer mentioned that in these perplexing encounters, local residents often describe witnessing enigmatic sources of light. It is worth mentioning that there is a lack of understanding about the origins and reasons behind these luminous phenomena, which occur on numerous occasions. The officer emphasized that there is limited information available regarding the nature and causes of these illuminations, leaving many unanswered questions for investigation. Despite the continuous efforts to investigate, the enigmatic lights that have perplexed many still hold their true nature and origin shrouded in mystery. According to the findings of investigators, it has been documented that in the days leading up to the sightings of the mentioned unidentified objects in the surrounding region, a considerable number of individuals in the vicinity have come forward and shared their experiences of witnessing radiant spheres. This indicates
See, if that thing was 8 feet, the original gray thing we saw that was half as big as the telephone pole, this might be a correlation here. It might be.
that there was a notable presence of these luminous orbs in the area prior to the reported sightings. This information provides valuable context and further supports the validity of the reported sightings of the alleged creature. There have been multiple reports from various witnesses detailing the existence of luminous and impeccably circular objects in close proximity to the sites where encounters with these.
I'm sorry, that thing is massive. And if that's the same thing that they got on top of them stairs, man, that's a great picture. What do you guys think? Is this real or not?
Enigmatic beings have occurred. These accounts provide comprehensive insight into the phenomenon, shedding light on the intricate details surrounding these captivating occurrences. Those who passionately explore the depths of the unknown have proposed that luminous spheres, often described as immaculate and spherical entities, emit a soft, pulsating glow. In the quest for knowledge and understanding, these radiant orbs have captivated the curiosity of countless individuals throughout history. Based on testimonies from witnesses, these unusual phenomena are accompanied by a wide range of vibrant colors. These colors include various shades of white, orange, blue, and green. The diversity in color adds to the unique and captivating nature of these occurrences. These mystical spheres have been witnessed floating elegantly across the sky, displaying their graceful motions that appear to defy the principles of gravity, as if they carried no weight. According to various social media posts, there have been multiple accounts of individuals fleeing the vicinity in a state of panic, claiming to have witnessed the presence of a humanoid entity. Concurrently, there are reports indicating the appearance of an anomalous creature traversing the premises of the shopping mall. These posts allude to a peculiar and potentially unsettling phenomenon occurring within the vicinity of Miami. As of this moment, the currently provided explanation suggests that the occurrence appears to have stemmed from a gathering of young individuals releasing fireworks. The incident, which has prompted much attention and analysis, requires a deep exploration to fully comprehend its origins and implications. As the multitude of people dispersed, the resulting scattering gave rise to a state of disorder and disruption, greatly impacting the operations of nearby businesses and causing inconvenience to motorists in the surrounding area. The occurrence of the disruption resulted in significant inconvenience and impeded the seamless operation of various establishments and transportation systems within the vicinity. The explanation provided by the authorities did not convince those who were closely following this story. They were skeptical about why such an extensive response, including more than 30 police cars and black helicopters, would be warranted for a few individuals setting off fireworks.
Exactly. You're not going to send 80 people down there. That's like this is a code orange. UFO contact is on the way.
This raised questions and doubts in their minds regarding the official justification. At present, a considerable number of individuals have taken to social media to express their concerns about a potential cover-up. One user even reported reaching out to local police stations through emails and personal contact, but unfortunately, their attempts were met with dismissal and refusal to address the matter. The growing consensus among these voices is that certain information is being deliberately concealed. This has sparked a widespread debate and calls for transparency.
Come on, work. Fuck. Jump. Come on, work. Come on.
I have no idea what's going on. Somebody.
Okay, so a few nights ago, over 50 cops and helicopters were called over in a shopping mall area in Miami, Florida. Why were there so many cops? This is just rumors and witness reports that there were 7 to 10 feet tall creatures and beings running around the shopping area and attacking people. Now, the other report is there was a few gangs fighting amongst the shopping area and teenagers running around fighting each other with sticks and stuff. So you're telling me that many cops and helicopters came for a little teenage gang fight? And why were there so many flight delays in Miami that day? All of this wasn't even being reported by the media and covered up by that whole Epstein list.
See this? How are they getting that rope around it?
Walking through the streets. The other speculation is that it was alien activity. They measure that at 9 to 10 feet. 9 to 10 feet. And there was people running for their lives. We are in the age of AI. This could absolutely be a hoax. It is all in the scope of biblical last days issues. The question becomes not, what is it? What are we going to do? The question is, do you believe in Jesus? Is Jesus Lord? Because no matter what it is, you're overcoming it by the blood of the Lamb and the word of your testimony. Big deal.
He's not playing. He got straight to the chase. He said, look, whatever's going on, this is what it boils down to.
So allegedly, there was 8 to 10 feet tall aliens that was spotted at the mall in Miami. And apparently somebody caught this 8 to 9 feet tall alien on camera. And if this story is true, this could potentially be the biggest story of the century. Look at this right here. And this is another clip of people that's running from the mall, from the alleged aliens. And now some people are saying that they came out with a cover story saying that it was teens that started a riot and setting off firecrackers. But this is my thing. Why are there so many police officers? This many police officers for teens? Now, I've never in my life seen that many police officers pull up just to break one fight up. And there's also been other reports of 9 to 8 foot tall aliens that have been reported. Y'all remember what happened in Las Vegas? And then we have people saying that they cut the scanners off and also shut down the Miami international flights, which is very interesting.
Oh, that's a good view. It was about to break free. Tell me it wasn't about to break free, man.
4 horas ainda, velho. Dá tempo de ir para Lençóis. Vamos na...
Vamos ver.
4 horas ainda, velho. Dá tempo de ir para Lençóis. Vamos dar para Bauru ainda. Olha isso, velho. Olha isso.
Got one. Got him. Yeah, that's definitely one. Yeah. That looks like the pyramid. Oh, it says Germany.
Lo encontré.
Come on, bruh.
Lo encontré.
UFO real. UFO real. UFO real.
Guys. I want to say that's real, but I want to say so.
UFO real.
But I can see them having something like a little season running outside. I want to see them doing something like that.
UFO.
I could see them doing something like that though. That's the scary part. It looks like a sky train. We've been seeing those sky buses on my earlier videos. If you watch them, and that's what they look like. A literal train, UFO. That's crazy.
See this? No. Holy.
UFO codec gas station.
As the plane soared above an unfamiliar region in China, a passenger gazed out of the window, capturing a captivating video. A sense of awe and curiosity filled the air as the passenger's camera focused on a peculiar sight. A disc-shaped object, about the size of a small car, effortlessly gliding in parallel to the airplane, near one of its wings. The crispness of the video allowed the viewer to perceive the details of the disc distinctly. As seconds passed, an intriguing occurrence took place. The mysterious object seemed to activate a device of some sort, creating a mesmerizing effect. Space and time itself appeared to fold around the disk, as if the laws of physics were being bent to its will. The passenger's video captured the surreal moment in all its glory, a testament to an encounter that defied conventional understanding. As the object sped away from the aircraft, its velocity accelerated to a staggering 24,000 miles per hour, leaving an indelible impression on the mind of the witness.